Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. So it's immigration attorney Connie Kaplan here. We help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. Those of you who's first time here, welcome. Good to see you guys. And just so you know how we run this, I am on multiple platforms at this time, and I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I'm sure I missed one. Um, all right, well, I guess those. And good morning. And feel free to put your immigration related chat questions in the chat, and I will address them. So today, let's try to focus on what happens if your green card gets denied. So I am going to avoid those questions that are discussing coming to the United States or are discussing work visas or tourist visas. I will not address those questions. So today we are going to focus only on having your green card denied either at the consulate or being denied the green card in the United States. So let's address first, okay, what happens if you are going to get denied a green card outside of the United States at the consulate? And then we are going to address what happens when your green card is denied by USCIS in the United States. So for obvious reasons, let's talk first about those abroad. You apply for a green card either based on your marriage to a US citizen, marriage to a permanent resident, or through employment. For some reason you applied at the consulate. So you went through the entire petition process, the approved, it was sent to the National Visa Center, and then you have appointment at the consulate. And at that point, your visa was refused, denied, or you were placed in administrative processing. So if you are in admin processing, they basically saying we need more documents or we need to run a much more comprehensive, much more in-depth background check. And that could take a long time. So when I say a long time, there are people who have been stuck in admin processing for over 3 years, 4 years, and that is not normal. If you are in admin processing, at some point, you have to file a lawsuit in federal court to sue the government and ask them to join, ask them to look into it and make a decision in your case. Now, if you are refused a visa, a refusal, it's not an outright denial, okay? A refusal is they want more documents, okay? We are going to refuse you at this time, but you are allowed to file a waiver. A waiver, it's a pardon. Basically, you're asking the government, I understand that I might not be able to come to the United States under the current circumstances, but would you please forgive whatever I did in the past and allow me to get a green card anyway? That is not as easy as it sounds. It is actually a very, very complicated application in which you have to show that your U.S. qualifying relative, okay, so you still need a qualifying relative, even if your green card is based on employment, okay, that your U.S. relative will suffer extreme hardship if you are not going to be granted a visa. And that is where most people get stuck. But consider this, if you are getting a refusal for a visa, you're actually in a much better position than those who get a straight denial. And the reason for that is if you get a refusal, you still have the option of filing the waiver. Those who get denial don't even have an option of filing a waiver. So that could be for many reasons. You could get denied, straight denial, because terrorism issues, drug dealing issues, drug trafficking, significant crimes of violence that you have committed, and so on. And don't for a second think that the government doesn't know because it happened back in your country. Okay, we have treaties in place. The agency, our government communicates with your government. They exchange information. So let's just focus on that. Okay, so if it's administrative processing, you need to file a lawsuit, give us a call. If you are denied, in most cases, you will not be able to do much. That doesn't mean that's the case in most cases, all right? But if you have a refusal, you have a short period of time in which you have to do something. What happens though, in most cases, you go to the consulate, you are not given a visa, and they don't even tell you what happened. So that is when you contact an immigration lawyer. It could take a year and a half for us to find out, because the government does not have to give us a reason, especially at the consulate, all right? And in most consulates, they don't even give you the paper that says why you were refused a visa, and the officer may not have told you. So how else are you going to find out? So that's when you call an immigration attorney to be able to help you. And generally speaking, it should be the U.S. citizen, spouse, or employer who should be calling us, okay? So let's address some of the questions that are here before I move on to those denials that are being issued by USCIS in the United States. All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. Great. Jim, I have a 10 years green card, but recently I had a fallout with my spouse. She asked for a divorce. If you have a 10 years green card, your green card is no longer dependent on your marriage, but you need to make sure you have that 10-year green card. How recently did you get your 10-year green card? If you want to file for naturalization, you may still be able to do it now before you guys are filing for divorce, assuming you are still married and living together. Give us a call, because we can properly advise you depending on your particular situation, your particular circumstance, because believe it or not, no two marriages or two cases are the same. Saeed, I have one issue. Can girl get citizenship from her father, even her father separated from her mother? In some cases, yes. In some cases, not. Derivation and acquisition of citizenship, it is very, very date and fact specific. We will need to know the mother, the father, and the child's dates of birth, dates of marriage, dates of separation, dates of divorce, immigration status from all of them. And all those need to be put in a specific timeline depending on the law at the time on each single event. She may be able to get citizenship, she may not be able to get citizenship. And all this needs to happen before the child becomes of age. All right, so since those are the questions based on denial of green cards outside the United States, let's focus now on those green cards who are being denied in the United States by USCIS. So when you are applying in US, an affirmative application, which means you are not in deportation, you are not in removal, and you are not asking the government to stop your deportation. If you're filing anything with USCIS, generally speaking, it's considered an affirmative application. So somebody petitions for you. Could be an employer, a family member, could be a US citizen, permanent resident who sponsored you, right? And then at some point you get to the interview. And at that point, things don't go as well as you thought they were going to go, and you are being denied. Remember what I said, what happens when you are outside the United States? There is a huge difference between applying for the green card outside the US and applying for a green card within the United States, okay? The consular processing part has something called the doctrine on non-reviewability. So basically, They can deny it based on whatever they want, and you have no right to appeal. If they are denying your green card in the United States, you still don't have the option to appeal, but your US citizen, spouse, petitioner, or employer can appeal the denial of the initial petition. On the regular green card application, you can generally file motion to reconsider, motion to reopen, which is somewhat of an appeal, but it is not an appeal. All right. So when you're being denied a green card in the United States, okay, your best option in most cases is actually to apply from scratch again. Try a brand new application. It moves faster. It is less expensive. In certain circumstances, that is not good. If you have been accused of marriage fraud, and your I-130 petition, your spouse's I-130 petition is being denied, that you must appeal. Because if you let a fraud allegation stand in your particular case, so basically they're saying you married only to get the green card, then it is very unlikely that you will be able to get a green card through any other means later. You can still reapply with the same spouse, but you want to fight that allegation of fraud. You have an allegation of fraud, your options, your opportunities to get a green card significantly diminished. So that is not great, all right? So let's focus then on, do you also offer consults to Canada? No, we do not. I only handle US immigration. And thanks for asking that question, because we are located in Florida. We help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. We have clients in 46 states. And we have people who are in the United States and outside the United States. Okay. However, we do not handle Canadian immigration, UK immigration, or to any other country. You want someone who's licensed to provide those services for you. That's how you are going to be best served. We can, however, refer you to someone. Just send us a message, and we can refer you to a very good immigration consultant in Canada. The girl is still a child, and her mom divorced from American citizen. It really depends on a lot more than that. We need to find out if the American citizen did the consular report of birth abroad and so on. It's a lot more than that, okay? We need a lot of documentation to determine if the child could get citizenship or not. If the child has never received, if there was no consular report of birth abroad and the child does not have permanent residency at all, she might not be able to, okay? But give us a call, let's schedule a consult, and let's go over all the details, okay? So you are in the United States, your I-130 was denied. What do you do then? Then if your I-130 is denied, and it is denied for marriage fraud allegations, then like I said, you are going to appeal. If your I-485, which is your green card application, is the one that is denied, that one is being denied for inadmissibility issues, okay? So you could be considered inadmissible by the United States if you committed a crime. You committed a crime for which you have not been arrested. You are involved in, other than the military, you are involved in fights, you know, wars, militias, other things outside the United States. If you are considered a terrorist or you ever supported a terrorist organization, if you ever been denied a visa before, if you ever lied on a visa application, that's a big one. People lie on their visa applications and they say they are married when they are not. They say they are single when they are married and so on. It's a nightmare. Don't do that. So if those are denied, the government will allow you, in some cases, some inadmissibility grounds, it will allow you to file a waiver, just like a refusal of a visa outside the United States. So if it's based on terrorist activities, if it's based on health issues, sometimes depending on the health issue, if it is those things, some of them could be straight denials and it's nothing you can do. And sometimes is you can file for something. So let me address some questions. Oh, so I already addressed, what about US case? What about a US case? I just discussed if they could be approved, refused, denied, eligible for a waiver. If you are denied for inadmissibility issues, then you are not, that's in the United States, right? So you're being denied. If you're being denied, you can't do much. If you are being refused, generally they are going to allow you to file a waiver, and you should file a waiver. A waiver, it's not a simple form with 3 documents attached. A waiver application is like this. And you have to be able to prove to the government then that if you are not going to be granted the green card, then your US citizen or permanent resident qualifying relative, depending on the situation, will suffer extreme hardship if you are not going to get that visa. So you need to be able to prove that. Oh, there is a new requirement that just came out. If you are applying for a US green card, you have to take the COVID vaccination. I have a brother in Canada. He wants to bring me there. I cannot advise as to Canadian immigration. What is a possibility to immigrate to the US? Okay, so I address this on every single one of my TikToks. Feel free to go through all of them. Generally speaking, there are going to be 5, there are more, but generally speaking, 5 ways to get a green card in the United States. Because when you talk immigration, that is a permanent residency, okay? To come to the United States and be able to get the green card, you need to have money and invest in the United States and create jobs for US workers. Second option, if you are already in the United States, you can apply for asylum. If you're not, you're not. You can't do it. Third is to apply through diversity visa, which is the green card lottery. If your country is not excluded, you should apply for that every single time it is available. If your country is excluded, that is not an option for you. And then you have 2 more options, and those are the most common. One is through employment, and you have to find an employer willing and able to petition for you. And the last one is through family. If you have a US citizen's relative who can petition for you, and in some cases, a permanent resident. Those are your options. That's how you get to the United States. If you're outside US, you want to apply for the visa. If it is any like good immigration lawyers, well, we are very good immigration attorneys, and it really depends on the type of visa that you want to apply. How good the immigration attorney is only comes into play once you know how you are going to come to the United States. Because if you don't have a case, you do not have a sponsor to petition for you as a family member, you don't have an employer, you don't have Nobel Prize, or you don't have money to invest, it's not much an immigration attorney can do for you. Fadi, I am so clean and I never been admitted any visa. That is a very, very common comment, and thank you for that. When you are applying, first, right now, all the consulates are still closed. Very few have reopened, and the consulates that have reopened are not yet processing tourist visas. When you say any visa, I'd like to know what kind of visa you applied for, okay? But let's say you applied for a regular tourist visa to the United States. They do run a background check. That's first. And second, they want to see in less than 2 minutes that you have financial, personal, and emotional ties and professional ties to your home country, and you are more likely than not going to return back home. So if you don't have property, no money in the bank, you're not married, you're a single guy, don't have children, don't have a steady job, you're not going to get the visa. In some cases, it does happen, depends on how the officer feels that day. Remember this, the consular officers have very wide discretion. If they like your face that day, they'll approve you. They don't, they won't. And there's nothing you can do about it but reapply. if I want to come to Germany, what can I do? I cannot advise you to immigration to any other country but the United States. I am a registered nurse. How do I get a job in the USA? There is no such thing in USA as a central website where all the jobs are posted. Okay, there is no such thing. You do like everybody else in the United States, and I mean everyone. This is how you do when you want to get a job. You go on Google and you are simply Googling for your type of position and your type of experience, jobs available to foreign nationals. And there is a shortage of nurses. So you might want to apply for a job in the United States with a major hospital, with okay, but you need to find those. The other thing, you may be a registered nurse outside the United States, but unless you are actually licensed in the United States, they cannot sponsor you for the visa. So you might need to find another way first to get your license. You need to take the NCLEX, you need to do whatever else is required for your profession. Everyone is different. I cannot advise you as to refugee. She said she does only USA. Thank you, yes, but inbox her to refer you to another licensed company to Canada. Yes, please do. If you guys want to go to Canada, I do have a very good partner that we work with, and we have been doing that for many, many years, who can help you immigrate to Canada. Just like the United States, though, the higher your education level, the higher the degree, the easier it is to immigrate. If you don't have at least a high school education and perhaps a few years of experience after that, it is nearly impossible. Waiver program, electronic visa system. If you get refused by them, this means anything can you apply. So if you're talking about ESTA, okay, the visa waiver program, if you are applying for them and you were refused, first you want to know, why did they refuse you? Did you ever overstay your visa? Were you ever in the United States and perhaps you committed the crime? It could be something simple like a traffic ticket, okay? And they consider that a case that it's not closed. You have to find out why they are refusing it. If that is the case, then you have to apply for a B2 visa instead of the visa waiver, okay? And then you get a chance to explain to an officer. But you need to know what they are going to look for, because when you're going to see the officer, they are going to look and see the exact same information. So when you're applying for that visa, what you want to do is make sure you submit that particular information, okay, at that particular time on top of the application so they see it right away. Yes, you can apply again. All right. How do we apply for green card and when does it open? So I'm assuming you're talking about applying for a green card lottery and when does it open. Stay with us and follow us. As soon as the announcement is going to be made that they are going to open it or it has reopened, I will announce it, and then I will have a live in which I will take an hour, as long as everybody is ready, and I'll walk you through how to apply for it, okay? So please make sure you follow us. It's not yet open, usually in October. I'd like to apply for the business visa, but I need a good lawyer from United States. Give us a call, we can help you with that. Okay. I have relatives in the US who are residents. It depends on if they are only residents and they are not citizens, your relative can only petition for spouses and children, and that's pretty much it. If that is not the type of relationship you have, and based on your age, probably not, I don't know. That may not be an option. However, if they become citizens, there might be an option. If they are filing for a brother, the wait time is 14 years. So it really depends. There is no option for an uncle or aunt to petition for you. Please, how far is the American lottery? Generally, they open in October 1st, but we don't know yet. Don't go to any, guys, don't go to any other website that is open right now, because that is not the official website. And don't pay a penny for this, because it's free. Registration is free. If they are asking you for money, you're not applying to the real lottery. All right, so it is 7:30. I have been discussing this for about 30 minutes. Thank you guys for being here with us and asking your questions. I really appreciate that. And I hope I was able to help at least one person today. So then I'm on a mission. So see you guys later. Again, I'm immigration attorney Connie Kaplan in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow afternoon. Bye now.